as this has happened, of course civil servants need to be retrained. In many cases, they are redeployed. You don't need so many people opening envelopes or manning the fax machine if things are coming in electronically. So what do we do with these people? We need to be able to retrain people and to move them into knowledge economy positions. This is a big challenge, as you know. Another piece of the puzzle here, and a very important piece, is OHIM's responsiveness to its clients. These clients are mostly businesses, firms, and firms that represent intellectual property matters for other businesses. They have surveyed their clients year by year, beginning in 2007, have developed close working relationships with their clients. The attitude of the agency is that it exists for its clients. The clients are not processing paper for the benefit of the agency. So the mental shift is toward responsiveness. They not only survey, but they analyze results and then feed the results back into process improvements. And so this is like lather, rinse, repeat. This is a process that is repeated annually, and it just becomes the way that the agency works. Here's one of the user surveys. Here's an example of some of the analysis that is done. So we won't talk about every part of this, but just quickly you can see that you're looking at 4 years worth of data, and these are questions about how have your complaints been handled? Was mail lost? Did something take longer than you had wanted? Was there a decision you didn't understand or agree with? And you can see these red arrows. If you look up in that top left quadrant, you can see in terms of how quickly was your complaint dealt with, they were improving from 2005 to 2006 to 2007, and then something happened. For some reason, their users were less satisfied. So going through this process with many, many, many very precise questions, they can see how they're doing with their users year after year after year. Here's another one, something where things are working better. I should say that following that particular survey, 2007, 2008, a lot of attention was put into the complaint handling functions in the agency in order to see what to do to improve, and then to survey again to see whether the improvements have taken hold. So here you see areas of strategic strength. What this is telling OHIM is that you're doing okay. You don't need to make these priority areas because these are already working well. They don't leave it to their impressions. They leave it to their users to tell them. And those of you who know about service satisfaction, satisfaction is designed, is implemented, it is evaluated by the user. It's not whether the bureaucrat thinks the service is well done, it's whether the user, whether the citizen thinks that the service is well accomplished. So we have to listen to users. You can't read the words on this screen. It's also from their website. Coming out of this experience of working with servers and users, OHIM develops what they call a service charter. This is their contract, their social contract with their users. And there are 3 areas in the service charter: accessibility, reliability, timeliness of decisions, of responses. If you were to click into those, and you can go to their website and do this, you would see their performance results as a function of their promises, how they performed in relationship to what they promised, where they fell short, where they're doing well. It's highly transparent. It's used internally to challenge the staff and challenge the managers, and it's used externally to provide accountability to the taxpayer, accountability to the public. So what we see here is a start condition. Let's have a paperless office. Let's serve our clients, investments in IT, but the matter is not just left on the faith that the internet and web would improve things, would transform things. You see a lot of plain vanilla management going on here, very good management. Human and social capital improvements, challenges to civil servants, to public managers, And now we'll look at the networked governance part of this. OHIM was started to help to harmonize the European economy with responsibility for trademarks and design. Some of the systems they've built, this looks technical, but what's important here is that these are architectural, digital underpinnings for networked governance in Europe for trademarks. The Euromark system is the online application filing system. Trademark View is a search engine tool that provides visibility on trademarks. It started at OHIM, and more national offices are adding their trademark data to it, so it becomes a European tool. Euroclass is a classification database. Every country classifies goods and services for assessing trademark registration applications. As you looked across different countries, there are some differences, but they're highly similar. Those of you who have done this kind of interoperability know that it's a great deal of work. It takes a lot of time, but they're building across all of the countries of Europe a shared classification system that will be on a platform so every national office can use it. And similarly for these other projects, I would just say at the bottom, TMXML, Trademark XML, the capacity and the power of extensible markup language XML to promote interoperability has been really critical. And OHIM has a group of very fine IT managers and IT experts who understand where technologies are going, who know how to work with vendors to get the best projects, the best services for their organization and for Europe, and who have the capacity to put together these very important architectures. This is just an article from Marx, one of the trademark journals. The Euromark online application system was licensed without charge to other European countries. You could imagine a very different pricing structure, or you could imagine a European Commission agency saying, we own the system, you have to come to us, you have to work through us. Their modus is just the opposite. There's a collaborative ethos. There is not a charge for this. And this is the article in last year. The United Kingdom IP Office was one of the first to adopt this case handling software. And since that time, other offices are doing the same. So what we're seeing is this path of network governance growing. This is TM View, Trademark View. If you look at the bottom in the center, the countries that are bolded are the countries that have put their trademark data into TM View. Portugal is one of those countries. And over time, this will continue to grow. You know from network effects, this makes that search engine more and more valuable as it gains more and more information. And it's valuable for all of the actors in Europe and around the world. Here is your own, if you are from Portugal, Intellectual Property Office website. If I had the flash running and you clicked, I hope you will go to it and click. Outlined in red would be the shirt, the materials of which are trademarked, the socks, the design of which is trademarked, the ball, the design of which is trademarked, and all through this just one soccer player, you have a lot of intellectual property flying through the air there. Up in the top corner, you see the reference to Trademark View. So in this way, I just want to show you the path forward for networked governance. Here's a brief quote by Vubo de Boer, who was the very successful and quite far-sighted and excellent president of OHIM during the past 10 years. He's just finishing his term, and so now the organization will be in transition. He says, in a global economy, users expect not only to count on the system to protect their trademarks at different territorial levels, national, regional, international, but also that those systems offer the same standards of service throughout the network system. This is the goal. Therefore, coexistence must be complemented by interoperability among the systems. So this is a vision for all sorts of networked governance activities. And let me say that within Portugal, within a country, or within the Atlantic Alliance, we are developing the same kinds of interoperable systems with shared standards, shared levels of service throughout these systems. You could map this on a country level, municipal governments up to provincial governments, up to central governments, or you can take it through the European system. So what you see is a tremendous analytical capacity, ongoing exploration and examination of how to increase efficiencies. The web did not suddenly transform OHIM. A lot of hard work, as all of you are doing, has gone into this. Listening to the public, listening to clients has been key, and transparency, putting their performance data out there, putting their service results out there, has also issued a challenge both to them internally as well as to the public to hold them accountable for the work that they're supposed to do.